In Feldenkrais, particularly the way I teach it, there's a lot of different ways to teach it, we're really looking for quality of movement. We're not looking to fix or change anything. Just, again, to change our relationship with how we experience ourselves and our bodies. So very gently begin to just let your head roll to the left and to the right. Not to see how far can I roll my head. I'm not measuring you for progress at this moment. But just to feel the lightness or the not lightness, the tightness, the quality, and just begin to discover for yourself which side rolls a little easier, which direction's a little softer. If I were going to ask you to roll your head over and over again to just one side, which side would you choose? Which is your preferred side? And just feeling into that and just sort of wondering, and you don't need to have an answer, but wondering for yourself, I wonder why I like that side. And then just a few times roll just to that side that seems a little easier or softer, or for whatever reason is more pleasant. And then just pause in the middle. And then I want you to lightly slide or glide your eyes from left to right. You can have them open or close, whichever works better for you. And this will be a little more challenging, but begin to ask yourself, do my eyes move more easily, softly, preferably to one side than the other? And you might not be able to tell, but just taking your eyes left and right. Now we all have a dominant eye. So it may be that, especially if you know your dominant eye, that going in the direction of your dominant eye might be preferred. And then just a few times, just take your eyes to that side that is preferred, or if you're not even sure, just make a guess. Because this is a little harder, obviously. A little more subtle. And then wondering, how many of you can just kind of raise your hand up, is the side you take your eyes to preferably and the side you roll your head to the same? How many of you go the same way? Okay. And how many of you, your eyes like to go the opposite way of your head? Okay, so we're almost 50, we're probably 2/3, 1/3. You're still all normal. Okay, so this time, the side that your head preferred to roll to, take your head a few more times gently and softly, the preferable way, and make sure you're taking your eyes with it. And as you go just to that one side with your eyes, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but see if you can notice what goes first. Does your head lead your eyes, or do your eyes lead your head? And then pause in the middle. And this time look up to the ceiling. So you're going to fix your eyes on a point on the ceiling. And a couple more times take your head to the same side it's been going, your preferred side. not letting your eyes go with it. And as you do these subtle movements, notice as you increase your concentration, are you still breathing easily? Is your jaw soft and loose? Just kind of be aware of what's happening in the rest of your body. Good. And then a couple times, just maybe 2 more times, rolling your head, letting your eyes go with it. So kind of let your eyes free to follow or to lead. And then just rest in the middle. Always listening. So that was a lot of head turning. So making sure that you're listening to your own neck and your own body. For some of you, you might need to rest sooner than I say rest. You might start to notice that your body is speaking back to you. It might feel like you're overdoing it. So in Feldenkrais, there's no right and no wrong. There's just learning to listen and doing what is easily received by your body. Now I want you to give yourself a bear hug. So take one hand and hold on to the opposite shoulder if you're able. And take the other hand and bring it under the top elbow to hang on to the opposite shoulder. Not within the elbow, but just completely underneath the other arm. So you're not crisscrossed, but you're underneath the other arm. Now, if that's too hard for you for any reason, you can just hold elbow to elbow. You could just hold on to your ribs. So always modifying. Under. Yeah. Okay, excellent. So now, remember the direction that your head prefers to go. And so let's just say your head likes to go to the right. You're going to take your left hand that's on or near your right shoulder, and with your left hand you're going to invite that shoulder to lift upwards so that you're turning your upper body to the right. Your left hand is helping turn your upper body to the right, if right was your preferred direction. If left is your preferred direction, then your right hand is gently inviting your shoulder and your upper body to turn to the left. Best as you can. And you don't really need to turn your whole body. Just let your shoulder lift away a little bit and come back down to the floor. And notice what you do with your head. Does your head go with your shoulders, or do you keep your head up to the ceiling? And notice if you're still breathing. Oh yeah, that. So try it a couple times, letting your head roll with your shoulders. And try it a few times, not letting your head roll with your shoulders. Good. And then just rest your arms and shoulders. And just a couple times, really listening in. Turn your head left and right and just feel the differences between the two sides now. And notice if the side we've been playing with a little more has changed. Does anybody feel like the side that you started out preferring, you prefer even more now? Yeah, a few of you? Yeah, good. So about half and half. Some of you not sure or didn't raise your hand or have no idea. Perfectly acceptable Feldenkrais response. And just let your arms rest. Let your whole body rest. Do a couple of those breaths where you just remember to let everything go into the floor. Any tension that's accumulated in just trying to figure out weird Feldenkrais stuff, just let it go. And then begin to roll your head to the other direction, the less preferred direction. Just like you're just saying hi, you're just getting acquainted. You don't need to push it. I think keeping it less than full range of motion is even ideal. I've learned myself with Feldenkrais, smaller and smaller is better. Less and less. And at the same time, some of us are more kinesthetically sensitive. So some of us can feel subtleties in our body more easily, while other people are much more trained to auditory information and others visual information. So if your strength in learning isn't kinesthetic, meaning movement, Feldenkrais can initially be more challenging, and you have this huge potential to develop a sensitivity that your body might be really grateful for. So just rest your head in the middle, and then try sliding your eyes to that side. Back to the side and to the middle. And see if you can notice, when you take your eyes to the side and to the middle, is there a little tug on the head? The eyes, the turning of the eyes and the turning of the head are intimately related. When you use those little eye muscles, you could even place, if you want to, feel free to place your hand just gently on the back of your neck, just right at the base of your skull and your upper neck, very lightly. And then take your eyes to that side and see if you can feel those little muscles turn on a little bit there. Very subtle. Can anybody feel that? Yeah. Good. Nice. Most of you. And even if you can't, that's okay. So just let your hand down. And then try turning your head with your eyes a few times to that side. And try it both ways. Try letting, on purpose, your head lead and your eyes kind of take the nudge and follow. Do that a few times. And then a few times let your eyes go first and let your head follow. Notice how you're breathing, if there's any clenching happening. Is your tongue soft in your mouth? And just rest in the middle. And come back to the bear hug. And if you can remember which arm you had on top and which arm you had on the bottom, see if you can switch that. Nice. Nice. So this time, have your other hand lift the shoulder so that basically your shoulder is rolling in the direction that you've been rolling your head. And feel free to just approximate if for some reason your neck or shoulder doesn't like this position. Yeah, just let your head go with the shoulder, let your eyes go. Maybe try it a few times not letting your head and eyes go, letting your shoulders roll, but your head and eyes staying in the center. And just kind of pause in the middle. You can either let your arms rest or just keep them there. And come back to your bear hug. And this time, let your right hand pull your left shoulder to the right. And let your left hand pull your left shoulder to the left. And let your head just kind of flop along, side to side. So start with letting your head go in the same direction. So if your left shoulder is coming away from the floor, you're basically rolling to the right. So your head will go rightward. If your right shoulder is being lifted away from the floor, let your head roll leftward. And then if you're still breathing softly and not clenching your teeth, and if your neck is doing okay, can you take your head the opposite direction as your shoulders? And just rest, drop everything, let it all go. Lightly roll your head a little left and a little right, and just notice, is there any quality of rolling now that's different from when we started? And if there's a quality that's a little different, maybe softer, easier, fluid, maybe tighter, just say one word into the room of what your experience is. Looser. See some nodding. So when somebody else says a word, you can kind of check into yourself to see if that does or doesn't resonate. Did I hear softer?
Softer.
Softer. Mm-hmm.
Farther.
Farther. Going farther. Did I hear a gentler? Yeah, gentler. And being mindful that if you're not having those experiences, you didn't do anything wrong. Your nervous system just might want some attention in other areas right now. So at the end of Feldenkrais movement lessons, what I like to do is invite you to take your time, roll to your side to come up to sitting. No sit-up sittings, just rolling to our sides, easily, kind of lazily coming up to sitting, and then standing and staying in your experience, staying with whatever may have transpired. Just kind of walk around the room. We kind of call it the post-ATM walk. It's a little zombie-ish. But kind of continue to be in your experience and any changes that may have taken place. Thank you.